What if some of the touches a man remembers most have nothing to do with being intimate? What if the smallest gesture, hand on his shoulder, a slow touch on his arm, or the way you hold his hand when nobody is watching can make him feel more desired, understood, and emotionally connected than 100 words ever could? Many women assume men only notice obvious physical affection, but the truth is often very different. Men can be surprisingly sensitive to the meaning behind a woman's touch, especially when that touch makes them feel appreciated rather than pressured. And today, we're revealing 9 simple ways to touch a man that many women overlook but that can create a powerful sense of attraction and orient. The first is the unexpected touch on his arm. Imagine you're sitting together, talking, laughing about something, and suddenly you lightly place your hand on his forearm while making a point. You don't make a big deal about it. You simply touch him and continue the conversation. That tiny moment can communicate something powerful. I feel comfortable with you. It creates warmth without demanding anything in return. The key is that it should feel natural, not forced. The second is touching his shoulder when you walk past him. This sounds almost too simple, but that's exactly why it works. You're passing him in the kitchen, hallway, or living room, and your hand briefly lands on his shoulder. It can become a quiet reminder that you're connected. For many couples, especially those who have been together for years, these little moments disappear from daily life. Bringing them back can make the relationship feel warmer, almost immediately. The third is holding his hand for no particular reason. Not because you're crossing the street, not because you're trying to make a romantic statement, just because you want to. Maybe you're watching television together, sitting in the car, or walking somewhere. Reach for his hand and hold it for a few seconds. That simple gesture can communicate affection, security, and companionship. Sometimes the most meaningful touch says, "I'm here with you." The fourth is a gentle touch to the back of his neck. This doesn't have to be sexual at all. Imagine you're standing behind him while he's sitting down. You briefly place your hand on the back of his neck or upper shoulder and give a gentle, reassuring touch. It's personal, calming, and affectionate. The important part is paying attention to his response. Some people love this kind of touch, while others prefer lighter contact. Attraction becomes stronger when affection is mutual and comfortable. The fifth is the passing touch. This is one of the easiest ways to create affection without interrupting the moment. You walk past him and lightly touch his arm. You sit beside him and let your shoulder rest against his for a moment. You hand him something and allow your fingers to briefly meet. These moments can create a sense of closeness because they happen naturally throughout the day. Instead of waiting for a romantic occasion, you're creating small moments of connection during ordinary life. The sixth is touching him when you appreciate something he did. Suppose he helps you with something, makes you laugh, or does something thoughtful. Instead of only saying, "Thank you," combine your words with a gentle touch on his arm or shoulder. The message becomes more personal. "I noticed what you did, and I appreciate you." For many men, feeling appreciated is deeply connected to feeling loved. The seventh is the comforting touch. Men are often expected to be strong, independent, and emotionally controlled. But that doesn't mean they don't need comfort. If he's had a difficult day, you don't always need to solve the problem. Sometimes sitting beside him, holding his hand, or placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder can communicate more than advice ever could. The message is simple. You don't have to handle everything alone. The eighth is the playful touch. Playfulness can keep affection from becoming routine. A light tap on the arm after he makes a joke, a playful nudge when you're teasing him, or briefly bumping shoulders while walking together can create an easy sense of chemistry. The goal isn't to perform or manipulate attraction. It's simply to bring a little fun and spontaneity back into the relationship. And the ninth may be the most powerful of all, touching him while looking into his eyes. Imagine you're having a conversation, and instead of looking away, you maintain comfortable eye contact while gently touching his hand or forearm. There's something emotionally powerful about combining touch with attention. You're not distracted by your phone. You're not rushing to the next thing. For that moment, you're completely present with him. That can make an ordinary interaction feel surprisingly intimate. But there's one important secret behind all 9 of these touches. The touch itself isn't the magic. The meaning behind it is. A touch that communicates genuine affection can feel completely different from a touch used to get a reaction. Men, just like women, have individual preferences. Some enjoy frequent physical affection, while others are more reserved. Some love holding hands. Others prefer a hand on the shoulder or a warm hug. The strongest connection comes from paying attention to what makes both people comfortable. And this is where many couples make a mistake. They assume physical affection has to become bigger, more romantic, or more intense to matter. But often, the opposite is true. The little touches are the ones that keep emotional closeness alive between the big moments. A hand on the arm while laughing. Fingers briefly touching while passing something. A hand held during a difficult conversation. A gentle touch on the shoulder before saying goodnight. These moments tell your partner, I still notice you. I still enjoy being close to you. You're still important to me. Think about a couple who have been together for 20 or 30 years. They may still love each other deeply, but their daily routine has become predictable. They talk about bills, work, family, appointments, and responsibilities. Eventually, affection can become something they only think about on special occasions. But imagine what happens when one person starts reintroducing tiny moments of physical connection. Nothing dramatic, just small, sincere touches throughout the day. Over time, those moments can change the emotional atmosphere of the relationship. So, if there's a man in your life you care about, don't underestimate the power of simple affection. You don't always need the perfect words. Sometimes a touch can say, I appreciate you. Sometimes it can say, I missed you. Sometimes it can say, I'm proud of you. And sometimes it simply says, I'm still here. The most attractive touch isn't necessarily the most intense one. It's the one that feels genuine, mutual, and perfectly timed. Because when physical affection is combined with trust, respect, emotional safety, and genuine interest, even the smallest gesture can carry a powerful message. So which of these 9 touches do you think men notice the most? And which one do you think couples tend to forget after being together for years? Share your answer in the comments, because your experience might help someone else bring a little more warmth back into their relationship. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Here, we explore relationships, attraction, emotional connection, and the psychology behind what keeps couples close. Because sometimes, the smallest gesture can remind someone exactly how much they mean to you.